Hey, today we are quickly going to dive into some important information about what's the newest, best legendary and unique farm that you can do solo. Not only am I going to be discussing that, I'm also going to be talking about something that a content creator has been sharing. He's been saying that it's the best unique farm in the game, which it's absolutely not, and I'm going to prove that. And on top of that, I'm also going to show you something that you can do instead, so you're not wasting your time with that current method. He also kind of sounds like Nathan from South Park, and if you do not know what I'm saying, I'll just post it right here. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this. First and foremost, we are going to discuss something that you can use in Hell Tides, which is using two different shamans, and there are two more fallen that can be around, which are the smaller ones and the larger ones. The larger ones can be revived as well as the smaller ones. And what you want to do is head towards Hell Tides, locate two shamans, and try to lead a bunch of enemies towards them. What you can do is absolutely utilize this in the best way possible, and if you're a barbarian, this is probably one of the best ways to do it because you can survive a lot of the damage and revive yourself, or more so, heal yourself is what I'm trying to say. And then what you can do is just stack up a bunch of cinder. Eventually, you can then turn this in over at one of the mystery chests and acquire a good amount of legendaries. This is probably the best way to farm cinders quick, efficiently, and not only that, it will save you some time so you're not running around. I have been using this method quite a lot frequently, and I highly recommend that you guys use this because you never know, Blizzard might just patch this, essentially stopping these revivals from popping up the extra cinder, which if it does happen, I guess it does. Continuing on, let's go ahead and discuss what I was talking about earlier in the beginning of the video, which has to do with this specific dungeon, which can be located here at the top. It's called Mercy's Reach. Apparently, this spot is supposed to be the best unique farming spot in game, which it is absolutely not, and I'm going to prove that here. As you can tell, I'm roaming throughout. There are some elites within this dungeon, but for the most part, it's pretty big, so it's going to take some time to traverse to different parts of this map here so that you can then take out the elites. And I was not able to acquire any legendaries. Mostly these rares were popping up, which is terrible, and that's not what you want. Of course, you can't pick it up and scrap it down for gold, which is not the worst idea. Still, overall, it's not the best when it comes down to picking up unique items or legendaries. I think this information was completely false on his part. I'm not going to bring up his name either, because of course it's just not worth it. It's not worth throwing the shade that way. Although if you do want to pick up a bunch of legendaries and you are, let's say, on tier 3, I would just recommend that you try out some nightmare dungeons instead, because you're going to be able to level up your sigils and you're going to be leveling up yourself, and on top of that, legendaries pop up. So why not do it? Now, for the most part, if you want to try something completely different, then what I recommend is that you locate the quest called Call of the Ancients, which is only available once you've completed 3 of the quests, which can be found right here at this exact waypoint, which is going to be the refuge. Once you've done that, you should see another quest pop up at the left side. This should be from the leader, and then from there you can go inside the side quest dungeon. Now, I know a majority of you guys out here do not have this quest available because most likely you've completed it because, well, Season 1's literally right around the corner, so it all makes sense. Yet if you have a new character, or let's say you're starting up a new one on Season 1, why not utilize this method so you have another way of picking up legendaries and unique items? It's such a great way to do so, and you're going to see all the proof in today's video. I have a lot of clips of this, and it's legitimate. Sometimes there's folks out there that will record videos and they'll cut certain parts off and just show the parts that are, of course, are them grabbing the legendaries, and usually it takes a few runs, right, because elites do spawn some good legendaries and those unique items. But anyways, this is what I recommend instead of the one that you just saw previously where I showed you the Mercy route there. Just don't do that at all. Now, for video purposes, I fast forwarded a little bit here so that you can see exactly what's going on. A unique item just popped up, including another legendary. The reason for this is because of how many elites are within this dungeon, and I mean, it's a crap ton. So what you're going to see right here is my 3rd legendary pop up, and this is all due to, again, the elites. And so for those that are curious about how much XP that can be acquired from this specific dungeon, well, it's about 500,000 to even 600k, although you can have a buddy with you to benefit more off of the XP group, right? But other than that, it's pretty decent. I believe if you're on tier 3, it might be 250k, but it really depends again on the group and if you're using any of your elixirs. Which is what I recommend as well, because if you are going to be in this dungeon, make sure that you use something that can take out the Goatman, because that will make things a lot easier, because you're going to be able to apply a lot of damage. So what you're seeing right here is myself exiting out of the dungeon, and then I went straight to the main menu here, or the character selection. From there, choose your character, or of course it should be automatically selected, then just click Start Game. So what you should see on your screen is that you're going to be at the same exact spot that you just were at. You can then go inside the dungeon, rinse and repeat this as much as you like. The best part about this is that if you are on tier 4, you're going to benefit more because of how frequently those ancestral items will pop up, including the unique items. That's just something to think about. Although if you're on World Tier 3, this is still going to be just as great. If you're anything lower, such as World Tier 1 and World Tier 2, I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to be for you, but regardless, I do think it should be fairly good, considering just how many elites are here. So basically, when it comes down to it, you really just need to be on either tier 3 or tier 4, but like I've mentioned previously, it honestly just depends after that, because World 1 and World 2 are just iffy. So what you see right here is another item that just popped up, legendary, and this is just from the fresh restart. So with that one out of the way, we are going to talk about one more thing, and this is the last thing that I would like to share with you. I recently discovered this because I was messing around with one of the world boss events. As you can tell, I'm at one right over here, which is going to be the Wandering Death. If you guys did not know, what you can do is basically defeat the boss, click T or down on the D-pad on your console, and what you're going to be able to do is teleport straight to town. And by the way, this clip right here, holy smokes, they applied some crazy DPS. Typically when I'm in one of these world boss events, I do not see that often. But what you're going to see right here is myself teleporting straight to town. Then from there, I'm going to click on the portal and then head straight back to Wandering Death location, which is where the boss just spawned. So this is going to then pop the boss back up. You can defeat the boss once more. Now you might be wondering, is there even a reason to do this? Well, kind of, because if you do go against the boss Avarice, he will then drop that huge treasure box at the end that does drop some additional loot and some gold. So that might be worth using this method right here. Also, to test your damage might be another reason, but other than that, there's really no other reason to do this. And there you go, guys. I hope that you have found the video helpful. If you have, give it a like and let me know what you enjoyed in this video. I appreciate everyone that has currently commented in the previous videos and have just basically came by to check out the videos in general. I appreciate all the love and support, and I'll see you all in the next video.